GTR.
Hey everybody, I'm Dan Sindel and welcome to Easy GTR's Learning to Play Pachelbel's Canon in D major. In today's lesson we're going to do the second half of part 5. This will be part B. Today we'll finish section G, which is bars 27 to bars 30. And before we get started, let's get tuned up. I'll hit you an A440. Bar 27, section G. Let's go to the very last part of bar 26, that last little triplet. That'll lead us into bar 27, into this new melodic phrasing idea. Look at the score one more time. We'll notice that we've got 4 measures of 16th notes. We have hammer-on pull-offs and little slides. The triplet in bar 26 starts on the note G, then A, then E, which leads us into the first note F sharp of bar 27. Alright, then that leads us into dropping down to the lower octave of the F sharp, G, F sharp, and we slide down from the F sharp to an E. Hammer on, pull off, slide. Let's put together what we have so far, starting from the triplet. Okay, now what we do is we go to our higher octave of the E, and we hammer on to the F sharp, and we pull off from that F sharp back down to the E. That little idea looks like this. Then we go down to the D note, which is the first note of the third system, F sharp, D, B, and we pull off to an A, which is the first note of the fourth system of bar 27. Now we lower that A to its lower octave on the 12th fret of the A string, and we pull off to the G note, and we just hammer back on. So bar 27, counting the actual triplet of bar 26 leading into it, will sound like this. Bar 28. Our first note is a B note, which is on the 14th fret of the A string. Now to make the sequence more musical, what we're going to do is we're going to look back to the last little series of pull-offs and hammer-ons that we did in bar 27, where we just played the A and we pulled off and hammered back onto the G. So what we're going to do is we're going to do that last little sequence of bar 27 and slide into that B note, the first note of bar 28. A, G, A, slide into the B. Then we come up to the higher octave of the B note. We're going to hammer on and pull off. We're going to hammer on to the C sharp and pull off back to the B, and then slide down to the A note, which looks like this. Now we're going to go to the lower octave of that A and do the same little thing that we just did previously. We're going to repeat that little phrase where we play the A, we pull off and hammer back onto the A and slide it up to a B. Now we're going to play the higher octave of that B. Now we're going to play the A note, which is on the G string, the 14th fret. Slide up to the 16th fret and play that B note. Then we're going to play the C sharp, which is the first note of the fourth system. Then we're going to drop down to our lower octave of that C sharp, and with the same kind of idea, we're going to play the C sharp, pull off to the B, and hammer back onto the C sharp. Then we're going to slide in to that first note of bar 29, the D. bar 29, we're starting on that D note that we just derived from the last little sequence from bar 28. So now that we're on the D note, the first note of bar 29, we're going to move up to the higher octave of that D. We're going to play the D note, we're going to hammer onto the E, pull off back to the D, and slide down to the C sharp, which will sound like this. Let's play that sequence from the beginning. Alright, now we're going to drop down to the lower octave of that C sharp. We're going to hammer on to the D. We're going to pull off back to the C sharp and slide down to the B. All of this will happen right here on the A string. Alright, now what we're going to do is come up to the B's higher octave on the 12th fret of the B string. Then we're going to play the A note, which is the 14th fret of the G string, and slide up 2 frets. Then play the C sharp, which is the first note of the 4 system of bar 29. So that little idea will look like this. Then we're going to go to the lower octave of that C sharp, which is the 16th fret of the A string. Then we're going to just come up to the D string, 16th fret, play the F sharp, pull off to the E note, and slide down to the D, all on the D string. Now that D is the first note of bar 30. So let's go ahead and play that, starting from the sequence of the B on the 12th fret. Bar 30. Here we are on the D note, which, as you know, we just arrived to from our last little phrase of bar 29. So now what we do is we come up to the higher octave of the D, the 15th fret of the B. Then we come up to the high E string and play E, G, F sharp. So that idea will sound like this. Alright, now what we do, this is pretty cool. With your second finger on the 11th fret of the G string, you're going to play an F sharp note, and you're going to slide it up to the 14th fret, which is an A note. Alright, now what you're going to do is with your third finger, you're going to place it above on the 14th fret on the high E string and play an F sharp note. So that little phrase will look like this: 11, 14, 14. Now what we do, we play a D note on the B string, then we come up to our high E string, we play G, F sharp, G. Then our 4th system, we play a high E, then we play our A note on the 14th fret of the G string, pull off, and hammer back on. A, G, A. So starting with that little sequence on the 11th fret, let's play this for you. So as a review, we'll play the entirety of bar 30, starting actually with the little lead-in from bar 29. Alright you guys, that'll do it for today's lesson. And as you know, we really appreciate you hanging in there and studying with us. If you signed up for our newsletter, you're pretty much aware that we're able to save you money now and then on some really cool guitar related products, and today is no exception. Now I don't know if you know this, but the Guitar Wheel has just lowered their price by $10 over at Amazon.com, and on top of that I can save you an additional $1 by putting in the code EasyGTR123. Now if you haven't seen the Guitar Wheel, it's just, this thing is awesome. It's two-sided. It has everything you need to know about guitar theory and piano theory, transposing, chord theory, major, minor, diminish. It shows all your scales. Definitely a cool thing to go out and get. Alright you guys, well we'll see you soon. We'll see you next lesson.